Well, hello there, fellow YouTubers. What do you reckon about this shooting in New York? Nobody got injured. I mean, people did get injured. Nobody killed. I think 16 was shot, all below the waist. The guy had a smoke um, grenade mask on, or a gas mask, whatever, um, on, and he shot everyone. So he didn't want to kill anyone. And all the cameras were broke in the subways along like the area, Fifth Avenue, and all the other cameras, they were all broke, out of order, so they say. That's a false flag. I mean, because the false Prezi, talking about, let's go Brandon, the day before, was talking about gun rules and gun license laws and all that, talking about something like ghost guns as well. What's a ghost gun? An unmarked gun not being used in any sort of crime, so it can't be officially recognised as like, oh, this gun was used to shoot someone in, say, let's say Oregon or Florida. I mean, any place. And that'll be matched up through ballistic experts. But funny enough, I just wonder why. There was a certain fella, when you see the footage, you'll see a fella, he was just standing there and he was filming it, and and the fella's shooting, and it was a black geezer, right? Now, if this fella was shooting indiscriminately and shooting people, why didn't he shoot this fella who was actually filming what was going on? Maybe it was for training, a false flag, but training, as a real live event. Like they had false flags like Boston, they had London 7/7. They were doing a test just before it happened. It's like Event 201. If nobody's heard about Event 201, I suggest you watch that. It's about what they said, what they were going to do, and that's what they're doing. All about misleading people, It's Event 201. You can watch it, it's still up on YouTube. It come out about, I don't know, a month to 6 weeks before practically all the world closed down. Excuse me, I was just there making something which involved rolling a piece of paper along my tongue. And because they said what they're going to do and all that is what they're going to do is like what they practiced beforehand. I mean, it's rare that they don't. I mean, there's a few things like where things like that have happened, quite a few, and we call them false flags, and we call them false flags for reasons. I mean, a lot of the time, a false flag can be someone shooting blanks, and then maybe a special effects people are walk past as normal bystanders, and they like get shot and act still, or don't worry, we called an ambulance, and then bang, you never know, the ambulance could be fake. It's only part, like say, 2 blocks down the street out of the way, and they come, and they take away what injured people are there, right, and how injured they are. Well, they're not going to be injured, are they? And then, bang, let's get more gun control. No, they want your guns. The Democrats want your guns. And you know why they want your guns? Because then you cannot fight back. It's like the UK, we haven't got no guns. All our guns are all illegal. What they do is they buy start pistols and put a firing pin on them and drill them. And they're all brought in from America and Eastern Europe. I mean, if you've got the right money, you can buy fucking rocket launchers, for Christ's sake. Oh, sorry, Jesus, that's blasphemy. I'm awfully sorry. Sorry, God. We're caught for saying that about your son in a derogatory way. Well, anyway, it's they're all at it. You know what I mean? They are all at it. It's especially used to cause wars, especially in America. Especially not in America. Especially by the Americans. They've got the art of it down to a T. I mean, and the CIA are known to be the big wigs who says what goes on TV. I mean, if you watch one news channel, right, you get to see how biased and how bad it really is when they're not. I mean, the likes of CNN. I mean, can you believe it? Brian bloody Stelton. Hello, Brian Stelton. He's got a program on CNN called Reliable Sources. Reliable sources coming from his mouth. The only reliable source that comes from his mouth is tomato ketchup when he's burping. The dirty, gross man. You know? That's the only thing he brings up. He might bring up some sort of salad cream. But I don't know. I don't know what Brian's like. But reliable sources, there could be nothing more than the truth. I mean, that Zelensky, he wanted countries to ban the letter Z or the letter Z, depending on where you're from. Yeah, all right, let's all call him Elensky. And he's an actor. He's a known actor. You know? That's what he did before becoming a politician. He was acting a film out there that he was just a normal sort of school teacher, and then he put in to run for president on corruption, and lo and behold, what happens? They have an election and he wins. He wins, so he's president, and he's asking the EU this, the EU that, America this, Joe Biden that. He's asking the world for everything, for air dominance, no fighting in the air, no fly zones. Well, no, I'm sorry, but no, he's asking too much. This man, right, was named in the Panama Papers. He's a billionaire, and he took it all through corruption, like most of them. And American interests are in those let's cut the word, right? Remember certain sciences you did physics, chemistry, and you did when you cut a frog open. Well, take the first three letters, right? And then the next three letters from a room where experiments are done. So, in one of those places, right, all the bombings in the first couple of weeks were done in those places where they were. And that's it. And there was loads and loads of fake news. And then you got the dirty Kremlin, not the dirty Kremlin, you got the dirty Ukrainian soldiers shooting people who were tied up round the legs, round the knees, and their arms behind the back. And as soon as they got off that bus, off the coach, bang, shot in the leg. Next fella comes out, bang, shot in the leg. Next fella comes out, bang, shot in the leg. And then this fella, like, he gets out, but like he like slips to the floor, and he just leans into him and goes bang. I mean, he could be hitting an artery or somewhere. You know what I mean? He bleed out, and then there's the odd person, like, and they had hoods over their head, and you could see death was upon them, the pair of them, and they'd all look like that they'd been badly beaten. Now, these weren't war crimes. These weren't hit. All of them were hitting the legs. You know what I mean? These weren't people who were caught. These people were caught, tortured, beaten, shot, and not a peep out of our bloody media. And then a hospital apparently gets bombed, and 3 people died, and it shows you the pregnant woman coming out. Oh, well, it was all right for Obama to do that. And was it Ramadi? Or somewhere in the Middle East, somewhere like that. And he killed like about 58 people in some mosque somewhere. You know, that was all right. That was a war crime. If you got Putin is against the New World Order. And that's why they're fighting so hard to get rid of Putin. Because he's the only thing that stands in the way of the New World Order, and that Britain wants it, America wants it, Canada wants it, France wants it. They all want it. I mean, listen, if you get talked about, if you hear anybody, any officials talking about something called a UBI, remember UBI, it stands for Universal Basic Income. That means everyone will get the same amount, no matter what's up with you. And for people who don't work, they'd probably be made to pick up water in the streets, clean the waterways of dirt and soil, and crisp packets, potato crisp packets, and wrappers of some sort, and round the streets they'll be doing that just to get this universal basic income. They'll do that, and someone who will get the same, who's working for like London Borough Council, say, a council, and he's a chippy, he's a carpenter, he's not going to get much more. He's going to get like a couple of pounds more. And if communism comes, it's going to be worse than Shanghai, worse than China's. It's going to be so much worse, and I mean so much worse. It's going to be like China on steroids, and I mean that most sincerely. You don't realise what you've got until you use it, until you lose it, and you look, young ones have got everything to lose, so you've got to buck up and start thinking about what's happening and what you're going to do about it. If you protest, you get beaten by the police with riot batons and riot shields pushed into you, and then you get hit by a telescopic baton. They spray paint and spray pepper spray on you, and then beat you, and then they hide the numbers in the face so you can't see who they are. You know, it's ridiculous. And that's for a peaceful protest, and peaceful protests don't get anywhere. They don't get nowhere. They don't even get on the news. Think about it. They reckon the first lockdown, well, when they had a march, and they reckon well over 1.7 or 1.2 million people turned up. And there was just rows and rows of it. It was huge. Now, they could have done anything. They could have done absolutely anything. But they never done anything. Nothing. And then the police started beating them up. And when that happens, you've got to meet violence with violence. You can't cower and toe. No, you hit back. You fight back. You're fighting for your freedom. You're fighting for your kids' freedoms. I just feel totally sorry for those people now getting born now, or people under 10. God, and with these vaccines and that you've got to get, we've all got to get them. I mean, I'm not anti-vax or anything like that, so I'm not going to give my opinion. But by me saying I'm not anti-vax, I know that you follow where I'm coming from. Anyway, that's all for now. Please like, share, subscribe, and do what you think's best. And please leave a comment. I'll be doing some more videos, just talking into it and going wild on a little gab. I like a little rant. Sounds like a pest, doesn't it? A rant. Oh, look at that rant. What is it? Oh, it's part of an ant and part of a cat. Or part of a rat and an ant. Rattant. Yeah. Anyway, everybody, thanks for listening. This is me out, and you take care of yourselves, and remember, fight fire with more fire. You know, the French take water balloons, right, and fill them with oh bloody hell, egg and flour and paint. And when they throw it into the helmet, they try and move it, and it smudges all, and you can't see what they're doing, you know. And then when you can't see what they're doing, all you can see is little bits. That's the time to attack. You've got to meet violence with violence sometimes. You really have. You've got to. It's the only way. I hate to say it. I'm not advocating for it, but nothing gets listened to. It's like Margaret Thatcher never listened about poll tax. Not a word, not a dicky bit. She wouldn't negotiate or nothing. She was called the Iron Lady for the same reason. She doesn't negotiate with people who she dislikes. And poll tax, well, everybody 16, 17, 18, 25, 35, 55, 85, all had to pay poll tax. And depending on what house you lived in, whether it was band A, B, C, or band D, or even E and F, A being the cheapest, well, and everybody in that house would have to pay it instead of the normal tax that one person or one household pays, and that's it. They were asking, because they thought they were on the Conservative government. Margaret Thatcher was saying, oh yeah, they'll take it, they'll take everything. Anything they'll say, they'll do. So that's what they thought. And look what happens. Right in the centre of London, the police get a good kicking, and next minute in Parliament, Margaret Thatcher's dropped the poll tax, rehearsed it, and give out a different version called the council tax, where one house is paid for as a tax, not like poll tax where every householder pays. Anyway, everybody, I hope you've learned something today, and more. I'll put more up as soon as I can. That'll be in the next day or two. So, like, listen, and share, and please comment, please. That would be appreciated. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everybody, and take care of yourselves.